Happy Saturday. How are you? All right. So we are going to talk a little bit today on this live about cues and why they're important and why varying them is important as a teacher, because not everybody's experience is the same. So that's what we're going to chit chat about. If you are new to me, I am Ashley, the founder and owner of Black Prana Yoga Magazine and Black Prana Yoga and Pole, and yoga is my jam. I've been teaching for about a decade now, and I really like it. So that's that. So I appreciate you following me on Instagram. If you have just found me, welcome. If you're an OG, welcome back. So let's talk a little bit about cueing. So let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. Most of the cues that you get in a yoga class are not built for bodies that look like ours or move in the way in which we do. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. They're just not designed with us in mind. Not our bodies, not our experiences, and all that kind of good stuff. Not our proportions. And those lived experiences and our bodies are what gets brought into class. So it can, in a really weird way, almost ostracize us from the class and the experience. Not because it's ill-intentioned of the person who's teaching, just because they have not been given additional options either. So what's important is that cueing is the language. What's important to remember is that your cues can either welcome somebody into class or serve as an unfortunate means of shutting them out of class. If people can't see themselves and see their own body in that experience, or give them options to see their own body in that experience, it's going to be very hard for them to get into their practice. So if you can, you want to give people the opportunity to see what's possible, and the way in which we do that is by giving solid cues for them to be able to see what's possible. Thanks for agreeing. I appreciate that. So inclusive cueing starts with us asking, who am I actually talking to when I give these cues? What do the bodies look like that are in the room that I'm teaching to? Or am I just teaching through this cookie cutter lens that I've been told that this is how the body needs to move in order to get into this shape? Am I really taking the time to be inclusive in the words that I'm using in order for students to get into the posture, one, to see what's possible regarding it for that day? Are we offering assist that allows students to maybe experience something that they've been struggled to experience before, or that they did not think was possible for them to experience at all, depending on how in which the way in which they've stepped onto the mat and come into class. So early in teaching, I used, the typical cues of tuck your tailbone, stack your shoulders, your wrist, and all those things. Those things are important, but what does stacked look like? What does stacked look like to somebody that has a wrist injury? What other portions of the body are we recruiting in order to make that version of stacked happen? What assist or modifications are we offering to make that version of stacked happen for that person who has shown up to class and wants to get an experience as well, wants to be able to practice and move their physical body and get into their physical body? So what are we offering them that may allow them to still experience the class to its fullest without feeling like they're singled out, or without feeling like the practice itself or that class is impossible? So for me, one of the biggest things that has kind of changed this perspective, or I should say has broadened this perspective for me, is I had a back injury. So I wasn't able to open on the right side of my body, and it was affecting my hip in this hip hike that I've had for some time. So I had to modify the way in which I approach that particular posture in order to make it accessible, not only for myself as a student, but also for myself as a teacher, so I can still share the experience of that posture with the students that come into class, and have it not be something that is painful, or be something that I end up avoiding because it's painful. So in that experience for myself, it drove me a bit further into exploring what else can we do on the mat when it comes to our asana poses. What else can we do to offer students to expand their ability to experience yoga itself? What other things can we do beyond just props? Are there words that we can use to help students move their body in more ways that are beneficial for them, and that are specifically tailored to how in which their bodies move? as I said, as opposed to just giving cues for the masses. You're actually giving cues for the class sets in front of you and what you see, what you're watching as a teacher work in real time for folks. So the weirdness that can happen in cues when we're just using these overall kind of blanketed experiences, or not the weirdness, but the unfortunate thing that can happen when we're just giving these cues and using these overall blanketed experiences, is that students don't see themselves in the poses. Students can't figure out how to get their bodies into those varying shapes. It's important that we have a conversation with students surrounding what strength looks like and what different degrees of strength look like, what different versions of strength look like. Are we talking overall strength? Is that the strength in which that we're referring to? Is that what is going to get you into that pose? Or are we talking about relative strength, knowing the amount of force that you need in your body to move your mass in the direction that you're asking it to go? Do you have that muscle coordination available? Do you have that brain to body connection available in order to do the posture that you're being asked to do by your teacher in that experience? So we talk a lot about these things in our teacher training, and to help our teachers grow and to help expand not only our teaching practice, but our personal practice on the mat, and give us an opportunity to experience the fullness that yoga has to offer. So right now, our teacher trainings are currently on sale. We have a summer deal going that is good until the 30th of June. So please make sure you take advantage of it. You can register for 200-hour yoga teacher training for just $45. You can register for 300-hour teacher training for just $55, or for just $50. And then you can register for 500-hour teacher training for just $55. All of them are online, and all of them can be done in a self-paced fashion. So for instance, if you can't join us in the live session, everything gets recorded. You're given access to our online portal to where you can go back and watch the classes on your own time if you cannot participate with us live. So I wanted to share that with you today. I hope this helps you expand not only your teaching practice, but your personal practice and your time on the mat. And this expands your experience of yoga overall. So I hope that this helps somebody. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the mat. Y'all have a good one.